Sherman Browne, and welcome to another week of AIMHigh Insights. Look, I'm so excited right now. I am so excited. I'm here with my good friend, Dr. Cecil Wright. This is a different type of episode today, man. And look, my good friend, Dr. Wright here. How long have we known each other?
14 years.
About 14 years now, right? In 2002, when I came here and I was going to college, I met this brother in college, and we just we clicked together, and then we had this sort of competitive nature. So I finished my bachelor's. He said he's going to finish his. After we finished that, he said he's going for his master's. I was like, look, I'm going for mine now. And then we both finished a master's, and then Dr. Wright said that he's going for his doctorate. So he went for the doctorate, and I said, I'm going to get my doctorate in common sense. That's what I took the time to focus on, but at every step of the way, we just continue to grow, man. And I've always appreciated this brother for all that he does, and he has something new that's happening right now. 21 Days to Freedom, The American Dream. It's his first book. And I'm so glad to be able to be a part of this. Let me tell you guys something. You know, I've read a lot of books. I share with people that you should continue to read and to enhance your mind. But this book is a must read. And when I say it's a must read, I'm telling you it's a must read. I wrote the preface to the book, but the content that this brother has put in is so powerful. And it would be a shame if you were to miss it. So I know some of you guys don't know Dr. Wright. You're new to the AIMHigh community. Some of the folks know you from the weeks that you did, 77 and 76. Just tell them a little bit about your story, who you are, what you do. Dr. Cecil Wright.
Thank you, Brown. Well, I am Dr. Cecil Wright. I am Jamaican by birth. Obviously, my story will tell you a lot more. A father of some beautiful children. And a lovely wife. Got to mention your wife and TV. You have to do that.
Make sure you mention it.
And I have to go home in the night. I'm entrepreneur. Very high on educating folks to take their life to the next level. And working through a special project with Brown, and we have some new stuff we're working on. But I'm happy to be on the show.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, look, man, I'm glad to have you here, man. And Dr. Wright's story is a fascinating story. You know, when I met him and just hearing of his journey, I got very excited because his story is a story of hope. It's a story of perseverance, and if you ever know who he is, you'll respect him right away. And let me tell you something, you can see the glory. You see the nice, he's keeping it jiggy today. Got me looking a little off, but the brother looks good. He does what he does good, and you could see the glory, but you got to know the story. So tell them a little bit about how you got here, how you got to the country before we even get into talking about the book.
Well, that's a good segue. Really and truly, when I decided to leave Jamaica, this was 22 years ago, I got a visa, went to Canada. But I knew going to Canada that my goal was to end up in the U.S. Didn't know how. When I got to Canada and I spoke to someone, asked them how can I get to the U.S., they mentioned to me I have two ways. Either I could go in the trunk of a car, or I could have to sit in the front and act as if I'm American. And with my thick accent, that wasn't going to go well.
No, not at all. You still got the thick accent all now. It wouldn't work.
Would not work. So there are several people, folks come to the U.S., they come here first class or coach. Mm-hmm. I come in trunk class.
Trunk.
Not Trump.
Not Trump. The trunk class.
The trunk class, right? So I came to the U.S. in the trunk of a car, and when I got here, I knew I was at the right place at the right time. Doesn't matter whether you're here a year ago or 50 years ago, America is a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
And if you have the boldness, if you have the guts, if you have the will, and you come here with intention to make a man of yourself and to do all the right things, you can be the best you can be here and help change the world. So I'm grateful to be sitting with you today to share my story. And my story is one of hope. My story is one of giving people a chance to know that doesn't matter where you are, you can be successful. Because understand this, that Brown, that successful people always going to survive through things that other people died in.
Wow. Now, you guys know I like to come up with quotes, right? But that was powerful. Do me a favor, share that again and expound on that a little bit. That's a powerful thing you just said.
Well, what I was mentioned is that successful people will always survive through things that other people died in. Wow. And I say this to say is that, most people take their disadvantages as their death sentence, while some people take their disadvantage as their destiny. You know, so for me, when I came to the U.S. and I'm here and I'm saying to myself, if I only had a chance to go back to school, I would change the world.
Yeah.
And so the minute I was able to do so, I went back to school. And I went to school every single day for 4 years without missing a day. because that's a drive and passion I had to earn my degree.
There's a different type of hunger.
There's a different type of hunger you have.
Yeah.
So the idea about the immigrant dream, we're in a time when the country is having a broad discussion about where do we go as immigrants. But I'm here to tell folks that not all immigrants who might have come here illegally, right, are destined to do illegal things. There are folks who come here illegally, but their only dream in life to have the opportunity to do great things. And I might be one of the least, but at least I've experienced, and in my book I've met several men throughout my journey who came here in many different ways. And the only hope that these men have in life, Browne, is for them to be free in America so they can accomplish this great American dream.
Yeah, I mean, and that's powerful. You know, the one thing that I've always loved about Dr. Wright is that when he's doing what he's doing, he's not just doing it for himself. And he could have written the book all about himself. But what he already recognizes is that success is not about what you acquire, but really about the people that you empower. And the one thing that I love about this book is that he did not just share his story, but he shared the stories of many other immigrants who had dreams and who are just here on their quest for this American dream. So tell them a little bit about the book, and that's a good segue. Tell them a little bit about what the book is, what we have in the book, and what they should be looking forward to as they get this must-read book in their hand.
Well, there's a couple of things. Well, the book starts with the story of how that I first was detained for 21 days. And during the first 7 days, everyone know, if you understand the biblical trajectory, that 7 is completion, and the 8 is a new beginning. So in the 7 days, while I was there, is that I was totally depressed. I was depressed, and then I said to myself, let me start writing my story, just so my children can understand that their father once lived in America, because I was about to be expelled from opportunity.
Wow.
Understand that?
Expelled from opportunity.
Because I consider America opportunity, and I was about to be deported. So for me, I've been expelled from opportunity. You know.
So wait. Why were you detained though? Why were you detained in the first place?
Well, I was detained because I was here and I overstayed the visa that I had. So once you're married to a citizen, you have to go back and get your visa become a permanent status after a certain number of years. Didn't do that. Overstay that. So I was detained by immigration. And while I was there, I realized that there was many men in those cells who had similar dreams to mine. All they wanted was to be free in America. So I was there for 7 days moping around, and then all of a sudden, the 8th day, which is a new beginning, I said to myself, I'm going to write my story for my children so they can understand their father once lived in the land of opportunity.
Wow.
And I started writing the story. And men keep coming over to me and saying, why don't you write my story? So I started capturing their stories along with my story. The story that moved me most and really changed my life was when one of the young men who I interviewed in this book said to me, he'd rather be imprisoned in America than to be free in his own country.
Whoa. I mean, no, hold on. That's a powerful thought right there. Imagine, so this guy said he would rather be in prison in America than to be free in his own country. That's crazy.
Because in his country, there was religious cleansing taking place. In his country, there was a lot of political distrust that was taking place, and that didn't give him the opportunity to be successful. And he thought if he's in America, even in prison, even he could do something while he's there to help change the trajectory of his family. So when I hear that, I said to myself, I have to fight on. So I began to capture the stories of these men, and then realize that these men were just like me. They have the drive, they have the passion. All they wanted was the opportunity to be free. And if these men were free, they have changed the world. So the minute I got out, I decided I would capture my story, and that led me to writing this book that will help to help to encourage discussion about the role of immigrants in this great country.
Wow, that's powerful. I mean, again, the book is 21 Days to Freedom, The American Dream. If it wasn't for Election Day, this book would have been coming out November 8th. But it's going to be coming out before that, right?
Absolutely.
So November 1st. This is going to be actually your first election that you get to vote as a citizen.
My first election get to vote, and my first book is coming out about immigrant story.
Hey, this is powerful. And let me tell you guys something. The reason why you need to read these type of stories is because often you think that what you're going through is just you. You're thinking to yourself, it's only me that's going through it. But the fact that you can read stories of other people who have done it, other people who have overcome, that will be enough inspiration to take you over the top. So listen to me. You need to get this book. 21 Days to Freedom, The American Dream. The book signing is when?
November 1st at Barnes & Noble in Bay Plaza. I'll be there from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and I'll be autographing this book. We'll be taking pictures. We'll be sharing the story. And you know, the idea is that so we can help to make changes.
Absolutely.
We can help to impact lives, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Look, you got to make sure you're there. Again, that's November 1st, Barnes & Nobles. I'll be there, we'll be there. You need to make sure you're there so you could get this book, 21 Days to Freedom, The American Dream. It's the story of immigrant dreams and their quest to be free in America. This is Sherman Browne with Dr. Cecil Wright, reminding you to keep your ambition, inspiration, and motivation high. That's what I'm talking about.